as we get going here, what are you thinking kind of mentally coming into this? This is probably the first swim for a lot of these athletes here. You're really excited. And as someone that swam an 800 freestyle relay, it's kind of tough to bring those nerves down.
It is. I didn't get down to the 200 of an 800 freestyle relay very often. I was much more of a 500, 400 IM mile. So for the distance swimmers in this one, this is a sprint. And this is, some eased legs on the first 50 and then go. And then for the sprinters who are coming up to this 200 for their team, it's a little bit more conservative on the first 100.
Whenever I'm asked for a race strategy in the 200 or the 500, I always respond with things not to do, as opposed to things to do. And the things that I say are, well, don't forget to breathe on the first 25, which it would shock you how excited you can get for a 200 freestyle leading off a relay, or any leg of the relay, to just kick out to 12 meters and keep your head down for 4 strokes and go, wait a minute, I don't have room to take a second breath on this first 25. And like you said, light legs is hugely important in a 200 freestyle where you're this excited coming into this first day of the meet.
Anything over 100, if you're not breathing on the first 25, it's a little bit of a rookie mistake. And if you're nervous, you just have to really have it in your head. Breathe, breathe, breathe. So it does take a reminder when those nerves are high, but it's something that has to happen.
Leading the way right now is Isabella Riso in 4 for Utah. Martine De La Torre for West Virginia running second in lane 5. 4 swimmers all swimming 8 lengths to the pool. Utah and West Virginia coming in just a second and a half apart from each other on seed times. Utah 7:19.21 and West Virginia 7:20.63. First leg wrapping up here, and a good closing 25 from West Virginia's Martine De La Torre. But it will be Utah at 148.0, just about a half-second lead over the field as our second leg swimmers jump into the pool. Through the first 50. Fastest 50 split for these second leg swimmers was actually Iowa State's Malika. Just a few tenths of a second, but 2/10 of a second times 4 is almost a second. So you got to keep your eye on those. Seed times around 7:19, probably looking for just anything sub 150 if you want to go lower than that. There are 148, 149s leading off, and we're in striking distance without a doubt, taking those seed times quite a bit lower. Great leg there for West Virginia. 28-13 closing 50. Picked up over a second on Utah. We're at 3:37.43. So as we mentioned, if you want to be sub 7:19, sub 7:20, definitely in a good spot to be there.
With some good tapers, these teams will be looking to drop their in-season times without suits, around 8 seconds. You're looking to get off a couple seconds per leg of the relay. So if you're looking at an untapered prediction, You're trying to see how much faster you can go when it comes down to it. And the 800 free relay is a lot of fun because there's a lot of lead changes, and they're the most obvious lead changes based on the distance of the event. You're going to see a larger margin between swimmers when it's a 200 than you would in a 50, of course.
Lane on the first 100, Taylor Tomey pulled all the way back to even with West Virginia and erased that lead. And might have about a cap lead on West Virginia with 50 yards to go. Turning just .06 apart from one another. It is Utah leading West Virginia for the time being, but putting together a good last 50 is Olivia Bush out of West Virginia. So will be West Virginia with about a 1 second lead going into these anchor leg swimmers. In 5 is Ostan, and in 4, McCallum. So freshman Ostafi trying to hold off these Utah Utes. McCallum not going to make it easy. She's staying right on her hip. Picking up 0.4 of a second there is Ostafi, the freshman. Just 100 yards to go. She's got about a body length lead on Utah. High stroke rate from the freshman in 5. 28.42 to a 28.91. Second and a half lead. McCall wants to run her down. She needs to go right now, if not a little while ago. It looks like all the momentum is with West Virginia with 25 yards to go. Victory lap for the freshman Ostafi to pick up the win in this first of 2 heats in the 800. As they go 7-17-17. Utah picks up second at 7-19-54. What a great anchor leg there for Delia Ostafi, the freshman for West Virginia.
That's a huge moment for a freshman to step up and have a great final leg of the 800 free relay. It's a look into the future for them, and when you know you have that final, that anchor leg coming back for the next 3 years, you can build around her and continue to put the pieces together.
I'll give a shout out to those caps again. Those are new ones. I'm gonna have to do a couple laps around the deck maybe later and see if maybe I find one. Heat number 2 walking out now. Loud in the Greensboro Aquatic Center. 7 relays in this heat. Once again, that's 7-17-17. West Virginia can't score in this heat. Just an aggregate of those 2 heats time-wise. There is Kansas. They'll lead off with Gabby Dyer at 1. Lane number 2 is going to go with Cayman Neal, University of Arizona sophomore. Lane number 3, University of Cincinnati, is going to lead off with some veteran talent with Michelle Morgan, the senior. Arizona State, your top seeds coming into this. Jordan Greber in 4. 5, Haley Tiffany, the sophomore from BYU, leads off. She's had a great season so far. University of Houston in 6 with Lila Goupel, the senior. And in lane number 8, or in lane 7, TCU with Avery Dillon. To watch Haley Tiffany throw down a pretty good 200 freestyle, to say the least, against Utah just a couple weeks ago. And that was up at elevation, so keep in mind down here in North Carolina, BYU and Utah are breathing some quality air, to say the least.
I never got to do the down as it being natural. It was just up for the Olympic Training Center, but coming down, that air's got to feel thick, and that's an extra taper benefit for them.
It absolutely is. It's a super taper. So keep your eye on, especially Haley Tiffany, towards the end of this race. Right now in lane number 2, Cayman Neal for Arizona putting together a great swim so far. She'll be in first right now at 51:31. Second is Gabby Dyer, just behind her in lane number 1 for Kansas. It is Arizona by about a half body length over Arizona State right now with 50 yards to go in the first leg. A great third 50 from Cayman Neal at 27:19. Fastest in the field by quite a bit. (1:18.50). A great first leg for Arizona from Cayman Neal. And she'll hand it over to the second leg at 1:46.18. Second, 1:47.10 for TCU.
Second spot, TCU. And Taylor Stillman. And rounding up top 3, Arizona State.
Zilagi in 4 for Arizona State. Opens up in 23:96. Tyra Vroom for Cincinnati in 3 at 24:0. So some really quick first 50s here on the second leg. Wow, what a first 100 for Gorda Zilagi out of Arizona State. Legs are active, but they don't look like they're being overused. 26:30. She goes out pretty close to 50 point there at the 100. This is a huge leg for Arizona State in 4. Third leg always important to keep an eye on. 27:49. So after going out that fast, Zilagi is hanging on for Arizona State. Fighting back still their in-state rivals, Arizona, down in lane 2. That's Elise Clift. She's putting together a great last 50. And Arizona State's body length lead is starting to be erased here. As we hit the halfway point, it's Arizona State by a hair. 3:33.42 to 3:33.51. So Zilagi went after it, but she paid for it a little bit. As we move into this third leg of the 800 freestyle relay.
I don't mind people going out on a 200. I think some people have to do that and then try to maintain your stroke rate, and I think other people can be a true back half, second half swimmer. But I think for a lot of people, it can look like you're falling off, and that's still going to be your fastest 200.
Yeah, it's a perfect medium of a race where you get people that come up from the 100 and come down from the 500. And you'll see, I mean, often it's pretty easy to tell who's doing what. You'll see a little bit of a higher stroke rate sometimes from a 500 swimmer, but that doesn't exactly mean that they're going out really fast. They just have a higher tempo. Grace Lindbergh right now, 26:1 on that second 50. Starting to open up a body length and a half lead already on Arizona. So we talked about it pre-show, and then Arizona picked up the win in the 200 medley relay. Arizona State trying to regain that momentum in the 800 freestyle relay. Another sub-27 split for Grace Lindbergh at 26:90. And she's going to hand over to the freshman, Albane Kachut, who is a great 200 freestyle. or 200 freestyler. So Arizona has their hands full if they want to run down this Arizona State team. So getting a look at one of the superstars that we're going to see over the course of the next few days here from Arizona State. We talked about a lot of 23-second opening 50s. I think this one will at least be in that hunt. 23:01, almost 22 seconds to the feet for Albane Kachut. .26:15, so we're out sub 50 for Arizona State. 49 low there to the feet, as Arizona State has opened up a 3+ body length lead on Arizona. Race for third right now in lanes 3 and 6. That's Cincinnati in 3 and Houston in 6. Arizona picked up the win in the 200 medley relay, but Arizona State fighting back and picking up a little bit of momentum of their own here in the 800 freestyle relay. What a great last leg from the freshman, as Arizona State takes it at 7:01:39. Arizona has second place locked up, and what a race for third between Cincinnati and Houston. And under the flags, by a hair, Cincinnati takes it, just .15 separating them and Houston. So your top three, Arizona State 7:01:39, Arizona 7:08:05, and just by a little over a tenth of a second, Cincinnati picks up third.
Arizona State kept a lot of their fastest splits for the back half of that race, taking over on the third and fourth legs. Really impressive for them to have the kind of depth that they showed in that race. Their student athletes look long and strong. You can tell someone's going fast when they make the pool start to look shorter than it is for everyone else.
Exactly.
And here's another look at the second leg of this race. There's the turn going into the final 25. What an incredible kick she has going. She looks long and strong. You would not know where she is in that race based on the way she's swimming.
And really the name of the game in the 200 free. You want to confuse people a little bit.
No doubt. That's well said. If you can't tell where you are on the last 50, you're in a good way.
Probably doing all right. Pair of really good 200 freestyles, just like